You're listening to the Freelancer Codex, a podcast brought to you by the Shut Up and Respawn Network.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 130 of the Freelancer Codex podcast. I am your host, Steve, specifically trying to talk slower so Mike does not get mad at me, and maybe he'll rejoin the Discord sometime. It is July 10th. It's not July 10th, July 9th. What happened to the day?
Are you a time traveler?
I might be. I wish I was. I would skip 2020 so fast. So
I wouldn't. I like 2020. It's taught us stuff. Muscles grow through breaking them down, and I think we've all been broken down pretty good. So we are going to come out of this stronger, ready to go. For one, I'm excited.
Mike, I like your positive spin on things, especially after 130 episodes of chatting. Your positivity it will keep me going.
Is it palpable?
No, it's not really palpable. But I'm here. I'm your co-host, Steve. I'm here with Devin and Mike, Xbox Ambassador Devin, who is happy and excited for the Xbox news that we'll be talking about today. And Michael, who I don't know who ever gets excited about anything. But, hey, we'll figure it out. Maybe we will get up.
You should join the Discord. You should go to that safe place where nobody makes fun of you and says anything bad about what you like or dislike or don't like.
So the truth comes out. Michael got his feelings hurt by the Discord members.
If anyone
like
should
day
get
two, like day two, I'm like, this isn't for me. I'm done.
He's got thin skin.
I don't think she's in the Discord anymore, Mike. And
I'm
you know what? If anyone
saying.
should be offended by the Discord, it should be me. Like, Cags will not leave me alone in the freaking Discord, man. Like, seriously, like, I get it. I do not pay attention to what I type, but you get the context. Like, my Spanish and my English keyboards are mixed up because I have to type in both all day, so my keyboard has no idea what language I'm speaking. Anyway, so this is the Freelancer Codex podcast. We like to thank all of our patrons that support us. We'd like to thank Julius, Nathan B, Michael R, Trent B, Man and Steel, Scout 69, Dragonheart 76, Jeffrey H, and the Gameplay Experience. Thank you so much for continuing to support us on Patreon. It means a lot to us. It helps us ship out a couple things. We have a monthly challenge coin that goes out to patrons of a certain tier that we design. We got some cool quotes on that, so we got that sent out for last month. I'm excited to work on something for the month of July to send out at the end of this month. So if you want to support us, if you can support us, that does not put you into any financial trouble, please do that at patreon.com/freelancercodex. The show will always be free, so you don't have to. But if you want to, hey, I will not stop you. So thank you so much for all of your support there. So I think because this show was originally the longest running Anthem podcast on the internet, it would be I actually do speak Spanish, SJ. It is I learned Spanish in 2004, and I've been speaking it, and I speak with a lot of contractors in my area in Spanish. So it's actually pretty good, Devin, right? My Spanish is okay.
I mean, he learned his Spanish from Taco Bell, but
you know what? You can learn a lot from eating at Taco Bell. So
you certainly
can. You shouldn't eat at Taco Bell anymore.
You know what I learned from Taco Bell? Taco Bell has 6 basic ingredients, and all of their food items are just different configurations of those ingredients. That's all it is. That's all it is.
They added hash browns. So.
Just think of the marketing genius on that one. Guess
do
what?
You,
now,
do
if
you
you put the beans on top of the lettuce,
I have, yeah.
That's unfortunate.
And this, for like the first 120 episodes, this is pretty much what it was like. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're just really going back to our roots and stuff. So,
is this an anniversary show?
Rusty, what's happening?
Hey, Rusted, what is happening, Rusted? Long time no see. All right, so let's talk about Anthem. This week, we got the first drop in a long time from Christian Daly, who's now the game director for Anthem. He gave us a sneak peek at some concept art that they have been working on. So the concept art, we shared it around. We have shared opinions on it. I think we've talked a lot about it in the Discord. We talked a lot about it on Twitter. So I think we want to talk a little bit more about it here, okay? So this concept art, if you have not seen it, we'll put a link in the show notes. If not, just go to Twitter and go to the @Freelancer Codex Twitter account, and you can see it there. This concept art is titled Pirates of Bloodwind. It depicts a robotic-looking pirate, and it is very pirate. I mean, you cannot mistake this thing for pirate. The hat on it is definitely made to look like a pirate's hat. The coat that it has is very specifically designed to look like a captain's coat. It looks like he has a barrel or a keg of something on his person that holds, I don't know if it's like fluids or juices, but it is very specifically meant to invoke like, hey, I'm a pirate, and it's the Pirates of the Bloodwind. So this is something that they were kicking around, something that they just wanted to show off. I guess the one thing that frustrates me a little bit, and we will preface this with the first thing that we always say with everything. We do not want to tell anyone how to feel. And we won't do that. These are our thoughts. These are our opinions. If you like this, then you should like it. We are not telling you you do not have to like something. We will never tell you how to feel. We will never tell you what you should like and what you don't like. Right?
Right.
Devin agrees.
I mean, you can like other things besides Xbox, just like me. I don't just like Xbox, okay?
Are you sure?
Really? Can you name one thing that you like that isn't an Xbox?
Tennis shoes.
And we lost Devin.
and there goes Devin. So, for me personally, this was not really what I was expecting when they started saying that they were going to start talking about Anthem again. Because in my mind, we're still 2 years out, and they are showing concept art. And generally, concept art just either doesn't get used or it gets changed because they don't want to set up the expectation of, hey, this is exactly what this is going to look like, and it ends up getting changed. So in my mind, this is just like, hey, this is something that we're not going to use. This is something that we were working on. Don't expect it, right? So I don't know. For me, I just did not get excited about this. And it's one thing to see concept art after the fact, after a product has been made, to go back and see what was put into it. Like, you know, seeing concept art for a movie like Star Wars after the fact, you kind of get to see like what they were thinking during their design phase. To like put it up front before that, it's just kind of a weird disconnect. Like, okay, because it puts it in your mind like, okay, this is what's going to be in the game. This is, you know, one for one. This is the only reason they were going to show us this. So for me, also, that's kind of weird. But it doesn't look like Anthem to me.
Yeah.
Like the pirate does not read as a creature or an enemy that would be in Bastion. And I think the big thing that we have said and the big thing that we've all talked about is that Bastion is supposed to be dangerous. Freelancers have javelins, and if you go out into the world without a javelin, you will die.
Like, I mean, they tell us that, but that's obviously
unless you're a pirate,
not true.
Or an outlaw grunt, or a skull,
or a Dominion grunt,
or a Dominion grunt. So it's weird. It's weird that pirates is being chosen as just even an idea. When I was talking to Steve about it, there was those characters, those NPCs that we meet, who vaguely mentioned coming across in a ship, right? And like, right. I might leave him. You're right. It was the two brothers. You meet down in the bar, and well, yeah. And you know what? And it might be a spoiler. You might not have seen that little piece of story.
Quest.
No, and you have to have seen it.
Does it? I see, and I think maybe that's kind of my point, is that I don't remember it. So then hearing that there's going to be pirates is like a what for me, you know, because like you said, it doesn't seem like it fits in the world, in the story. For me, it's not interesting. You know, if I want a pirate story, I'll go Sea of Thieves. You know, but.
Well, I think the main thing that we were talking about, like when the two brothers come over and one of them wants to like leave the family business, like they talk about javelins being strapped to these boats. They're chained to them. That way, if they come under attack, then they can't leave. The javelins have to either stay there, defend, or they die.
Right.
But I always thought, because it's Bastion, it's like some crazy like sea creatures, you know, trying to attack your ship and bring your ship down, or even if these were pirates, but they were more organic, almost like the Urgoth, because the Urgoth, like, we know that they're going to be humanoid, but they're also like from the planet. They might not be from the planet, but
you still seem to think we're going to see Urgoth.
I mean, we have to. I mean, there's no way that we don't see Urgoth in Anthem 2.0. It just won't happen. Rusted in the chat says, I like the art and design. I think that some of the skins are fantastic. I'll be 2 years late, but more skins is not up there with what Anthem needs. And I think that's a really good point, Rusted, because one of the things that Phaedron says, Mike doesn't know what he's talking about. So one of the things that
he's like, this is why I don't go to the Discord.
Mike just shut off his camera. So one of the things that Devin, that you talked about is that, you know, concept art really isn't the thing that we need to get us back into the game.
Yeah.
Really, it's systems that work, um, progression, gear, end game. Like that's the stuff that we want to know about. Like we know that they're. Go ahead.
In all fairness, we did say, you know, give us something, you know, and it is something, right? So they're giving us concept art, they're showing ideas, but really, what I think really they're gonna have to do is show how they fixed everything that was broken with it, right? I like the idea of the pirates. I would prefer, you know, as you guys were talking, I was thinking about this some more, and like I don't think they need to look like traditional pirates from our world, like, you know, pirates from the sea or anything like that. Like they could be pirates, but just be, you know, different. They don't have to look like a traditional pirate. And so that's kind of like we already talked about, like outlaws or Scar or Dominion. If you want to go with the definition of pirate or just call them the pirate faction, something, I don't know, but if they were included, you know, like you said, in a non-human faction. Because they're already saying like this was another whole different faction. You know, they're taming the wild beasts and riding them around in drunken merriment and whatever. You know, because they're pirates, right? But it's just like more people outside the wall makes the world weaker, in my opinion. When, like, you know, like we said, they said, oh, you're only the brave go out there with javelins and survive. But time and again, we see all these people just out there, like, you know, we're rescuing people all the time that are stuck or trapped or whatever, and it's like, you say it's dangerous, but there's always people outside there, and there's really, we had kind of hoped before Anthem came out, like when they showed the herds of animals going, you know, or creatures, we had hoped for more creature encounters. Right, the world of Bastion is dangerous, so make it dangerous. You know, give us more than just a storm that hurts us when we fly around and try and find water. But I don't know.
And I think it would be different because we don't have a lot of context to this one concept art. Just because it is a single piece of art, it's easy to share on Twitter instead of explaining like why the endgame loop is going to be different and why, you know, gear progression is going to be different. So this is an easy thing to share. But I don't think it does anything for me in regards to like what they're doing for 2.0. Yeah. And I'm really like, and we could go and we can say, hey, this looks awesome, this looks great, you know, great job, we're so excited. But like, we've always been honest in our feedback, and we can't stop doing that just because we're finally getting a glimpse. Like, I don't think there are 3 other people in the world that have talked about Anthem more than we have. Unless,
besides the developers
on the game, besides the developers on the game.
Well, and I don't think any of us are saying that the stuff isn't cool. As concepts, as pirates, yeah, you can look across the room and go, no, that's a pirate.
Yeah.
Right. There's no question about it. So I don't think any of us are saying that it looks terrible. I think we're saying, really, like pirates. You know, I think that's all we're saying.
It's just hard because it doesn't fit into the Anthem picture that we already have. Yeah. So, they have more of the picture, and maybe they'll explain some more about that. They talked about blog posts coming up here in the future and different things and on Twitter, and hopefully they'll be able to explain more of that. But ultimately, what's really going to get the people back into it, yes, the designs are cool. Javelins look awesome, you know, but what's going to get people back is showing, hey, we fixed these things. This is how we fixed, you know, progression. This is how we did a real end game. This is how we have like an actual, you can make builds that actually matter, and we have more weapons than just a few reskins of, you know, 4 or 5 different weapons. Like, I don't know, there's a lot that was, you know, it was a lot of fun to play. We obviously, all of us, 3 of us, put in more than a couple hundred hours each, you know, and because, you don't put that much time into it if you're not at least having some. Right, and the game is fun. There's no doubt about that. The combat's great. The flying's great. The javelins are great. They nailed those things, and they can improve. They just keep adding on that, but they need to fix everything else for the longevity, because you can't just doing the same things that don't matter.
Yeah, and that's why I say, like, I don't think there's another group of people that care more or want it to succeed more than we do. We've put a lot of hours talking about it, theorizing, you know, speculating on what they could do, giving feedback. And I hope the new team is listening to feedback and they're willing to listen to constructive criticism and willing to hear hard things, because before it seemed like, you know, that it was hard for people to hear hard things. I mean, that was kind of the vibe that I got a couple times talking with people, but I hope that they're willing to listen and listen to the people that have the constructive criticism, because it's easy to say, hey, this is great, this is awesome, go for it. But then, I mean, I don't know. We're not developers. We just want the game to succeed, and we want it to be fun because we really want to go in and play with. I mean, play with. I was going to say play with each other, but that sounds really bad.
That's.
So I tried to stop myself from saying that.
Stop that.
But also, like Phaedron put up a good Twitter feed with a lot of good points that, you know, I had talked with Phaedron also, because him and I have a lot of the same thoughts and same desires for the game. So, and he put up a good Twitter thread.
Twitter fet.
So go check that out, and you know what? Offer your feedback. I mean, if you love it, tell them that you love it. If you don't, tell them that you don't. But you know, that's all we can do, is we have to give the feedback, and you know, blind praise isn't going to help anybody. So anyway, I think that's all we have on Anthem, unless you guys have anything more that you want to add on Anthem. I think they were teasing like a blog post next week, but
I think for me, like, if you're looking at the picture, if you get a chance to look at it, take a look, right? But like the leather, you know, the whole pirate aesthetic with the leather and stuff, it looked like he had like that short, like a grenade launcher, rocket launcher on his shoulder, just attached with that leather. And I'm like, how's that gonna stay there? It doesn't look like it's attached anywhere. And I mean, it's got that big, huge thing in the front. I mean, it just stays there. And how awkward is that gonna be just running around? I mean, it just didn't seem like it belonged there, you know.
Well, I usually walk around with a big, huge thing in front, and that doesn't really matter at all.
Wow.
Attachments don't count.
I have a
Apparently,
pack.
it doesn't
Fanny
matter
pack.
at all.
Fanny pack. Okay.
I have a pack.
Yeah. I don't, and also, we don't even know if these are humans or not. I mean, we know that.
Yeah,
the scar,
I mean, they look humanoid, but then so did the scar.
Well, humanoid in that they have 2 legs and 2 arms, but the scars aren't humanoid.
It's like, okay, we're just gonna shoot you in the head because you're a humanoid, and headshots count as crits, and that's just not interesting to me in a world where we have Ursics, and we need more than just, you know, Ursics that are, you know, different colored or whatever. So anyway,
I will say that I would like to see more than just, you know, creatures from nature kind of thing. So
you would like to see more than just that. So what other things would you like to see?
Well, I would like to see.
More
I would like to see
aliens?
creatures, maybe not civilized aliens, but maybe again where things feel like they have like actual stakes.
What about,
you know,
like plants that eat you?
That could be kind of cool. You know,
the environment should really be dangerous.
The environment should be dangerous, right? That's why we're wearing a javelin, and I would want to stop seeing arcanists out in the field without
so many arcanists.
just their sleeveless shirts on.
We got this, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting that in the world of Coda or Bastion, that all these cities are very small and we're all gathered together, but we also kill a lot of humans that are still surviving, like dwindling that population very quickly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's that also. It goes back to the, you know, like to the Walking Dead dilemma. It's like there's zombies out there, but the real enemies are the humans. So let's all just kill each other, and then it doesn't matter anyway.
Is it safe? Do people ridicule me in that game or talk over me?
They might, but then you can just kill them.
Brought to you by the Shut Up and Respawn Network. Follow us at
I think we're done
Freelancer
now.
Codex on Twitter or Twitch. Send emails to freelancercodex@gmail.com or voice messages to anchor.fm/freelancercodex/message. We wish to thank all of our Patreons. We are grateful for you all. Thank you.
It's playing again.